How's it going, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Gameswell Show. I am your host, Andrew, and today we have Emily and Thomas. I almost said Thomas and Emily, but that's
whatever you want, man.
Backwards. Okay.
Wow. Oh, Emily.
I love pugs and parades. How are you guys?
Pretty good.
Good.
Pretty good.
This is the first time we haven't had Jessica on in I don't know how long. It's probably since when me, you, and Dan did it.
Yeah, probably.
Oh,
Which has been a while. It's been a hot minute.
It's been a hot couple of months.
Yeah. Speaking of which, it's getting really hot out.
It is.
We just talked about this.
Welcome summertime.
Yeah, it is out of nowhere. But anyway,
Yeah.
we're recording this on Tuesday night because I will be out of town
Mm-hmm.
starting tomorrow. So we're getting it done early. So if anything crazy happens, I mean, it's not really newsy, but just in case.
Well,
Just in case.
yeah.
Start the show. How we always start it. What are you guys been playing?
I haven't been playing anything. Honestly,
That's
I have been a very busy lady.
You have been. You
Yeah.
had a very busy weekend.
Yes.
So.
I haven't played anything since the last time I did the Gameswell Show.
Okay. So Until Dawn is the last thing you played.
Yep. I played like a couple hours of Skyrim
Okay.
not that long ago, but just like an hour or so. Yeah.
Okay. Thomas.
I've been playing a lot of like action games lately that I have. So I did Red Dead Redemption,
Nice.
which I know you hate.
I don't get it. I just don't get it.
I'm not a super big fan of it, but
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah.
It is what it is. And now I'm on Prototype.
Oh, nice. How's that?
I like it.
Good.
I said I played it before, but you know, it's
Okay.
sometimes frustrating, but
Mhm.
overall I just kind of like the controls a lot. So,
Okay. I've never played the first one, but I played a little bit of the second one.
oh really? I like the first one a lot more.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. But
How about you?
Yeah.
Overwatch is really. I also have not had much time to play games.
Oh, I guess I played Doom a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last week.
Because I did it for the website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played a little bit of Overwatch.
Mm-hmm.
Still fun. Played a little bit this morning. Played some Mario Kart yesterday with Jessica and Joe on the stream. That was fun. Joe did very well. Very good at Mario Kart. Very good at Mario Kart. So yeah, like I said, I haven't really had time either to play a whole lot. I've been very busy
Yes.
with the site revamp. Not that I did a whole lot for it, but
But that's your excuse.
yeah. Well, and Joe was in town this weekend, so like hung out with him instead
You're
of
being social.
yeah, exactly. I was being
Yeah.
social instead of being a hermit and playing video games with myself.
Yeah.
So all right, topics.
You
Either one
first.
of you.
You go
You go
first. Fine, I'll go first.
Yeah.
What is the first game that you guys played that had gratuitous sex or violence? And or violence.
Okay.
Whatever you choose. Should I answer first?
Yeah, if you want to
Yeah,
answer
yeah,
first,
go
yeah.
for it.
I would say the first video game that I played that had gratuitous sex. I don't know if gratuitous is the right word, but like a definite like sex scene would be Dragon Age Origins.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you do the one where like you had like a dwarf and like an elf sleep together and it's really weird and
No.
I feel like that would be weird though.
Because I like always play as a human, and then I generally romance also
I'm
humans.
just saying, Ogren's sex scenes are the best by far.
I remember my fondest memory of Dragon Age Origins. Speaking of dwarves,
And
is
in addition to this question, what was your reaction?
okay. Dragon Age Origins. I hadn't really heard of it, and I was spending time with an old friend, and walked by his brother's room, and he was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" He's like, "I'm playing this game," and I was like, "Oh, cool. What is it?" He kind of described it to me as Dragon Age Origins, and he's like, "I'm playing as a dwarf. Not that I like dwarves or anything. I'm just doing it for the achievements." I'm like, "Okay." Like,
Not judging.
super like defensive about playing as a dwarf, and it's like, man, like it's okay. Like,
Yeah.
no one is mad about this.
It's okay if you just want to be a dwarf.
Yeah,
I get
exactly.
it.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
back to the topic. Violence, I would say mine was probably either Diablo 2 or Grand Theft Auto 2. Grand Theft Auto 2 with the top down, like we talked about last time, we play on land with some of my neighbors and we just go kill each other. We wouldn't even do the story or anything. We just ran around trying to fight tanks and blow each other up. Like, and it was like blood would get on the road and stuff like that. And with Diablo, it's kind of the same things. They were more culty and like just heads on stakes and stuff like that. And
To throw this out there, I think that Dragon Age Origins was also just the first game that I really played.
Other than
So,
Fable.
did I do Fable
Fable
first?
3, yeah. That was like the first game you ever played.
is there sex?
Are you sure? I think
It's
I
like
played.
off screen.
I think I played Dragon Age Origins first.
No. I know this.
We're gonna fight about it later.
I strategically weaned you into video games
That
Fable
was,
first.
that was a good move, by the way. That's a good progression. Fable into Dragon Age into Skyrim.
Yeah, it was.
Thanks
It was very strategic, and she's going to argue with me for no reason about this.
All night. All night.
I would agree with Andrew, though. Grand Theft Auto, like, I know you guys talked about it last week.
Yeah, we did.
Like, you don't really sympathize with the characters.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have gotten a little more sympathetic lately. They have a little bit more motives and like, less wanton killing. But back in the day, that was like the draw of it. It was like you can go around in the city, shoot anybody. It was like that like freedom of it that like it's kind of messed up when you think about it.
Oh, very.
Yeah, but like people, it was just a thing that had never been done in a game before. And you were always the good guy, and now you can go around and pretty much like do whatever you want. Like by today's standards, it was probably pretty limited.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I remember like it was like legendary. I didn't even play it for a couple of years after I heard about it, and I like knew Grand Theft Auto is hardcore. As a kid, I thought that at least.
And I remember when the hot coffee mod came out for Grand Theft Auto 3, where you could they left the sex code into the game, but like took it out of the game, but like you could hack into it.
Like the coding was in it.
Yeah, you could activate the sex scene. And everybody freaked out about it. It was like all over the news and everything. And like I remember that happening.
I feel like I remember that in the news actually.
Where it was like, this is a sex game, and like Rockstar had to recall it and redistribute it with the new code, like without it in there. And like I don't think I ever played Grand Theft Auto 3, and I didn't play it on computer, so I couldn't do the hot coffee even if I wanted to as a kid. But yeah, I remember that being a big thing, and like really, and like my reaction to it was like, I mean, I'm like probably like 11, 12, I'm like, oh, that's weird, like, like, shitty teenage boy, like, response to it, like, and, like, it's with the violence, too, like, that's the age where you tend to be more into action movies, and, it's more adult-oriented, like, you want to be an adult kind of thing and experience stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, violence, and, like, and then I played Grand Theft Auto 2, and I was like, this is fun for what it is.
I'm, like, flashing back. I remember those news stories.
Yeah.
I remember being in my neighbor's house and like seeing that on TV, and he's like, oh, like my older like neighbor kid was like, oh yeah, I've played that, like I've done that, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, like it's a thing.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I don't know, like when I actually sat down and played, I'm like, this isn't like fun for me though, like it's cool that you can do all this, but like it's just not for me. So that was kind of my reaction. Is like cool that this, like not really cool, but like wow, this can happen, but like I don't care. So,
yeah. I can't really. Well, mine was kind of Grand Theft Auto too. I was just kind of jumping in with Andrew there. As far as like sex goes, though, like I feel like there wasn't really a time when I was like surprised by sex in video games. As a kid, like one, I was really sheltered, and two, like there wasn't really a whole lot of it back then. It was like
no, there really wasn't.
I guess Lara Croft was like the big sex symbol, but like nothing really happens with that even.
No.
So. By the time that like Dragon Age Origins started coming out, I was definitely desensitized to that kind of thing. So.
No, I completely agree with that. I do. And like there were sex games like Leisure Suit Larry and stuff, but those were such obscure games that I didn't have. I'm sure you didn't have access.
7-year-old Thomas didn't play Leisure Suit Larry. So.
Yeah, neither did 7-year-old Andrew. So like, but like those games existed, and like I heard about those games before I played Dragon Age, but I never played them. I just was like, okay, this is a thing. Like, of course this is a thing. And so when Dragon Age came out, when like Mass Effect came out with the sex scenes, I was like, nah, this is just the next step.
Yeah.
So, I feel like
I feel like Mass Effect sex scenes are way more tame than Dragon Age's.
I would agree with that based on the very few Dragon Age ones I've seen.
Well, Dragon Age 3 is boobies, so.
That is true.
That's right.
Mass Effect, we were like, 1 and 2 could have Bloobies, but they don't.
Bloobies.
Come on, Bioware, give us Bloobies.
That has to be like the tagline of the video.
It will.
Yeah.
Well, now you said it.
Just letting you know.
I remember, I was really like my dad especially was like, no like shooting other humans in video games. So like when I did play Grand Theft Auto, it was without them knowing.
I did that. I did a lot.
Yeah, like Battlefield they were okay, or Battlefront they were okay with because it was Star Wars, which is like really messed up if you think about it. It's like, oh, this is an established franchise, so it's okay if you shoot at the people.
Well, okay, half the time it's like droids, which aren't people.
That's true.
Or like stormtroopers, which like we're very desensitized to because
Yeah.
of the masks. So
Yeah.
So
You
like
don't have to look in their
And then, like
faces.
1/6 of the rebels are Wookiees, so you know.
that's true.
whatever.
So yeah, like I was allowed to play stuff like that, but I remember when Halo 2 came out, my cousin had gotten an Xbox. He's like, I want to get Halo 2 so I can play with my friends. And my uncle and my dad had we heard a conversation about them like they're so violent. Like Halo 2 is violent-ish, but like really not a lot.
But also, like, aren't you just kind of shooting aliens?
Yeah, you shoot, and that's the thing too. Is like you're shooting aliens, which was also okay by my dad's standards.
Which also, like, okay, going off of that, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
like, I don't see why they would think that that's bad because you know that when aliens invade Earth, everyone's gonna be like, get your guns.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna need that right to bear arms. But
Taking a political stance on extraterrestrials.
but like to my uncle and my dad, like they're like, oh, it's so violent. They're like next there's gonna be boobs and sex, and like that's exactly what happened. Like, literally like 6 years later, like BioWare came in, they're like boobies and sex. And yeah, so
The world is a better place.
I mean, we didn't get Bloobies, but yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe
You can hope out for Andromeda.
Yeah.
That'll be my contribution.
Ryan did BioWare be like, we need Bloobies.
What if it's, like, not at all what you're expecting?
Well, I mean, like, it probably won't be.
You just have to live with it.
Exactly. I mean,
Aren't the Asari hermaphroditic?
yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go.
It's better to try than to just not get Bloobies at all.
That's true.
That's true.
You gotta try to get the Bloobies.
You
It's
gotta
just
try
like
to get the Bloobies.
knowing would be better than not knowing.
Exactly.
In any situation.
Oh man.
Alright.
So, I think that's it for gratuitous sex and violence,
Yeah.
would you say?
Yeah, I think we're good. Alright, so Bloobies aside, Thomas, what do you got?
All right. So this is, I don't know. This is just like an opportunity for you guys, I guess. Like, what is a game that you enjoy that you think a lot of our viewers like may not have heard of before?
Oh god.
For instance, I'll give you some time to think about that a
Okay.
little bit. I'll go with mine. PC gamers might be more familiar with this, but console gamers probably not so much. One of my favorite games is Mountain Blade.
Okay,
And
He plays it all the time.
yeah, it's really cool. It's basically like it's an RPG, and you are basically just your own hero, and you can go around, recruit people to your army, and it kind of plays on like an RTS kind of like main map.
Mm-hmm.
And you go around, but then whenever a battle triggers, or like a siege, or all kinds of different types of battles, then it goes into like a first person, not a third person kind of mode. I guess you can switch to first person too.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah, and it's really cool, but the battles can be huge. I mean, it's really cool. But
Yeah.
my favorite part about it is the mod community is just insane. Like, there is a Star Wars mod for it.
Of course
It's
there's.
completely from the ground up. Like, the
Nice.
overworld is like the galaxy.
That's cool.
Units are like stormtroopers, rebels, bounty hunters, all of that. It's like huge. There's a Western mod, like anything you think of, Game of Thrones, Gothic horror, all kinds of cool
That
stuff.
sounds awesome.
So the replayability is just insane.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that is, if you've heard of it, you're pretty cool. If you haven't, you're still pretty cool, but you should check it out. It's really, I think you can get it for like $10 on Steam.
That's super cheap.
And most of the mods, like I think as far as I found, all the mods are free. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
Steam doesn't have paid mods yet.
oh really?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't use Steam for my mods. I don't know if is that legal? Is that,
No, you're fine. Yeah, Steam just like Steam doesn't care.
Okay.
Yeah, like the mods on actual Steam are all free for now. They're thinking about implementing paid ones, and yeah, you can change your system files. I don't care.
Cool. But yeah, it's really fun. So check it out if you haven't heard of it.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna look into that. That sounds awesome. Do you have one?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
I would say I'm a pretty mainstream gamer, though.
Emily's pretty new to gaming, so
Yeah, I really only started gaming like 3 years ago or so.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably say, was this the first? This was the first game I played.
oh, I know what you're gonna say. Yeah, that's a good one.
Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
War in the North.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the one where you like have the 3 different heroes?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That is the first game.
And the whole time I was thinking about that, I was like, I really want to play it now. But the last time we tried to play it,
We
we
played it
hit
tonight.
a level that we just could not get past. For like, we did this for hours. Do you remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was a snow
It's-
day, and we were snowed in. And
Who were we?
it was almost like a Donner Party situation.
Thomas has an incredible memory. He'll like all of a sudden he'll be like, you know what we were doing 4 years ago today? We made salsa and we had jalapeno poppers and we watched this movie.
No, it was
and
a
I was
snow
wearing
day,
these
early
socks.
2014. We were waiting for I ordered all the Assassin's Creed games for us to play, but those weren't coming in because it was a snow day, so they didn't deliver. So, yeah.
So we played War in the North and we couldn't get past a certain level.
I feel like what you just described, like the making sauce and jalapeno poppers, I feel like that's a lot of days with you guys, though.
It's fair.
To be fair.
It's fair.
It's when you
we don't do jalapeno poppers very much anymore.
No, not anymore. But when you got into the naming the specific movie, that's when it gets impressive.
No, like he will do that. He'll be like, and then we went to bed at 10. Like, it's weird.
10:36.
Yeah. So yeah, Lord of the Rings War in the North. We did play it all the way through the one time. And I really like it.
Times, I would say.
Oh yeah, we did.
You were obsessed with it.
I was obsessed with it. So it was my first game, and I was like, "This is so cool."
And you love Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
So,
and it's very customizable and stuff.
Yeah.
Which she loves.
I love character customization.
You and Jessica both. I've played a little bit of it. I have it on my computer, so it doesn't run. Like I have a laptop, so it doesn't run super well.
You used to play with Dan, didn't you? Or was that the other one?
I think I might have played it with Dan once or twice.
I know Dan had it.
I think I might have played with Dan once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would not surprise me.
We should stream it sometime. It might be
we
fun.
could do that, yeah, definitely.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, we can do that. Mine. I'm gonna go back to PlayStation 1 era.
Ooh.
My first game, the first 3 games we got with our PlayStation. Like I got one, my sister got one, my dad got one. The game I'm gonna talk about is none of those 3 games, but we're just gonna leave it at that.
He's setting up a whole backstory.
Yeah, I got a game called Jet Moto 2, which I don't know why my parents bought for me. It's like a racing, like a bike racing game, and like 7-year-old Andrew, not into sport things, but it was cool. It was fun. I didn't learn how to actually play it until way later in the game. Like there's a mechanic that I had no idea as a child, and it made the game way easier once I figured out how to use that. So that was fun to learn that like 4 years later. I was like, oh god, this game is stupid easy now. But anyway, my sister got, this is where it's going to start segueing in. My sister got Crash Bandicoot 2, so platformer. And that was the game we all played, the whole family. Like we didn't play really, Jet Moto 2 or Air Combat was the one my dad got. We didn't really play those two nearly as much as we played Crash. So like really early on, my first video game, like how you went from War of the North and like a noticeable like fantasy RPG line, I went down a platforming line. So one of the next games we got was Croc, Legend of the Gobos, which you would find adorable. You play a crocodile. Okay. Who stands upright. Okay. Who wears a backpack. Okay. And he makes adorable noises when he attacks things and swings his tail to attack them. And he goes rah. Okay. And I'm in. He was found. He was abandoned, which is sad, but found by these little creatures called Gobos, and they're these little brown fluff balls. And
so he's like raised in an adorable environment.
Yes, exactly. And then this evil baron, I don't remember his full name, but he's a baron. He comes in and steals all the Gobos. No. But Croc is off doing something when they all get taken, so he doesn't get stolen. So Croc's whole game is going to find his Gobbo family.
I am like so invested. Yes. And like I really don't even know like what you're talking about. Yes, like, but I'm like in it to win it.
Yeah, like it's adorable. And you would love it because you play this little crocodile with the big eyes on top of his head and you got a little backpack and you run away there's like and like you collect little gems to stay like like
it sounds like me.
Yeah. Exactly.
Save the triples.
Yeah, and you save the little brown fluff balls. And
who are his family?
Yeah, who are his family that adopted him. And like there's a king of them and he has a little golden crown and he's the last one you have to save. And it's just an adorable little game. But is it a good game? No. It's not. The controls are really clunky. Because it's a PlayStation 1 game, it's fairly old. But like it's so fun. And so cute. And like platformer is my first 3D platformer, even though it's not just a straight line, you can run around and do stuff. There's secrets and stuff, it's a lot of fun. Could never beat it, so I used cheat codes to get to the end. Because I was 8.
That was most games for me back in the day.
I did use that one cheat code in The Sims where you could get like unlimited money.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like Rosebud.
Yeah, Rosebud.
And then like comma exclamation point. And you'd be like $24,000.
Yeah, and then like you'd spend it all on like this crappy house, like because like you didn't like you're like, oh, I have all this money now, but like for me I'd become overwhelmed with designing the house, or did it end up looking like crap and I had a ton of leftover money?
For like whatever reason, I just wanted to have like the most expensive house possible.
Yeah.
I was like, I would like everything that is the most expensive all in one house.
We were talking about that. Like Jessica was playing The Sims recently. I don't want to get too off topic. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
But she made this like extravagant, beautiful house, and I was like, man, like when I used to play The Sims, it was like drywall everywhere, giant house still, but just all drywall. There was like an indoor pool that like the baby inexplicably just like sleep in, like in the crib. They kept it there, and there was like also like a toilet in there sometimes. Like it was weird. Like
see, I always set up my house like death traps. Like I would just, like I would do the thing where like every wall was a fireplace, and the room was just filled with sofas, and you had the dude light all the fires, have him stand in the middle, put sofas in the room, and have him sleep on the middle sofa, and the fire would just slowly encroach in on him, and he couldn't go anywhere.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
we should play The Sims.
I used to lock my Sims just in a room by themselves, and I would just watch them like freak out for hours and like pee themselves and die.
Maybe that's the first game with like gratuitous violence I ever played.
Yeah, maybe.
But the thing is, it's not gratuitous violence unless you choose for it to
Yes,
be.
that's true.
So,
And like the classic build the swimming pool, take the ladder out.
I would like to say every time I played The Sims, my husband's name was Orlando Bloom.
Of course it was.
I feel like The Sims really tells you a lot about yourself as a person.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that, because like how I play The Sims is how I live my life essentially. Like not what my sim does, but like as a
You're like a really extravagant serial killer.
No. Like that was like old Andrew was like, I wonder if I can do this. Like this is fun. Like but like how I play The Sims now is like it's very much how I lead my life. Like not how my Sims lead their life, but as a like player, godlike entity is doing that. Like I start building a house and I get like halfway done with it, like I'm bored now. And
Like,
just,
I'm
like,
tired.
slop it all the rest of it together and like have no money at the end of it. Like that's pretty much my life.
So yeah, so my topic about games that you guys have probably never heard of, and with The Sims that you've all heard
All
of.
heard of.
So
One of the
Great.
It's in the video game Hall of Fame now.
Is it?
Yeah, inducted this year.
It's pretty crazy.
It's in the video game Hall of Fame.
nice.
It's one of I think only 5 entries in there. So good job, Sims.
Good job, Sims.
Yeah, we'll show you Croc sometime. You'll love it.
Okay,
It's adorable.
sounds good.
All right. So your guys' topic was a little bit more fun. Mine could potentially be serious, but with us probably not. I guess the first let's just do a simple yes or no question to start out,
I love those.
and then we can go from there. Are video games art?
Yes.
I think art isn't. Do I have to say yes or no?
Yeah.
I was gonna say art isn't. I have a whole holder, just like a hipster, like terrible person.
When he
yes.
started that sentence, I knew it was going to be like awful.
Sure. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I would
Yes.
also agree. So that good. I'm glad we're all in consensus, because if not, one person's going to have a very boring rest of this conversation and not say anything. Now, the real question is, are all video games art, or is there certain like thresholds that need to be met? You know what I'm saying? Like, are there certain qualities the game must possess to be considered art, or would Tetris be art? Would Pong be art? Does
I
make
think
sense?
that it's all art.
Okay.
I do. But I have a very wide range of what I consider to be art.
Okay. Like, what else would you consider art?
I don't know, like performance art and
Okay.
stuff. Like, I think that if something like moves you and is designed to do so, not even just like emotionally moves you, like Tetris doesn't make me cry, but it makes me feel something.
Yeah.
Like when I play it, I'm like, oh no!
You're
like,
satisfied
I'm
when you-
satisfied. And like also like it's pretty. Like
Yeah.
I like looking at it. I like looking at games.
Yeah.
I think that's another part of art is like, do you like looking at it or are your eyes drawn to it?
Yeah, or like art is using one of your senses, because like with music it's all audio and stuff.
Yes, also that, yeah. Does it invoke one of your senses and make you have a reaction based on that?
Okay.
Which I guess Thomas is probably going to counter argue all of this and be like, we're all just robots in flesh or something, you know? So, but I would consider all of them to be art, even if I think the video game is absolute garbage.
Yeah.
Someone still created it with the intention of affecting someone.
Okay.
I think that, contrary to what Emily seems to think, I think that all video games have potential to be art.
Okay.
Even like Goat Simulator.
That is definitely art.
Somebody's trying to say something with that game. I have no idea what it is at all. But like somebody can find meaning in it, maybe, and.
But also, I don't necessarily think that that's it. But I think that I don't know how to say what I'm saying.
You're doing a great job.
They created something that not everyone else could have.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
it's true.
Something
It
very
has
unique.
their style.
Yes.
Their like thumbprint on it. You know
Exactly.
What I mean? Yeah, okay. Speaking of Ghost Simulator, really quick, breaking topic. Did you hear about the expansion that's coming out? The space expansion?
What?
It just blatantly makes fun of Star Wars.
I wonder if you can like lick a meteor and
We
just
should
fly
stream
through
it.
space.
We should. We need to get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got it.
I mean the expansion.
No, the expansion.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if it's coming to Xbox. We'll have to look. We'll look around.
Okay.
Anyway, back to the topic. I figured that would be fun for you because space and Ghost Simulator. I know you're a big fan. Okay, so I think Emily and I are very much on the same page. Kind of a tertiary question. Because I kind of asked this in the second one. Are there different levels? Is something more high art than in video games than?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I feel like there's more than that, though. I mean, like, if you go to the art museum, like, you can see, like, Baroque-style paintings.
Mhm.
Is that a style of painting? I just threw something out there.
Baroque, I know is music. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
art.
Yeah, I don't
So-
think it's
Let's go
an art thing.
impressionist. Let's
There's
go
a
that.
impressionist, yeah. There's
Let's
a
go there.
impressionist.
Like
I don't know what that
Renaissance
is. I
art.
don't know art painting at all.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is
You're like choosing just the wrong medium to go for.
No,
right now.
okay. But, like, you can find paintings, I'll say.
Yeah.
You can find sculpture.
Okay.
You can find, like, ancient, like, Neolithic tools, like, that, like,
Mhm.
the person that made that probably didn't even think they were making art. They were probably just like, I'm going to use this to kill a saber-toothed tiger.
I need to eat
Yeah.
And
tonight.
now it's in an art museum.
Yeah.
So, I think that, like, we don't even have to, like, separate from, like, highbrow and lowbrow art. Like, there's just different genres of it.
That's
And
true.
that's not necessarily, like, people aren't always aiming to be like, this video game is high art. They might just be like, I want to make the best version of this that I can.
Okay.
That's a good point.
I think that's a good point, especially considering how fast the tools of the industry progress with technology and stuff like that. Because, at this time, Sonic 4, I mean, there was a Sonic 4, I think there was state of the art, and now it's nowhere close. So.
I guess I would say that there's different levels of art, but not really. Like, to me, there are different levels of art because I might enjoy the way that one game looks versus another game. But that's just a personal thing. So to me, it's on a different level.
Okay.
Objectively, can there be a different level? Not really.
I think it's a really good point. The objectivity of it is a really good point to bring up because, like, it is all very subjective.
Yeah.
Because somebody might consider, Grand Theft Auto 5 high art. I mean, it's a very, very critically acclaimed game. People love it. Second best-selling game of all time.
Yeah.
But look at The Witcher 3, objectively one of the prettiest games ever made, and be like, this is boring. This isn't a good game. I don't enjoy this.
And to take
Who's right?
Go ahead.
It's who is right. Like, are they right? It's all objective. It's all
Or
subjective.
to take it away from video games, like someone could look at an Andy Warhol and be like, this is the best thing that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And then someone could look at a Monet and be like, I think that that's BS. And then vice versa. Like someone would look at a Monet and be like, this is so beautiful to me. And look at a Warhol and be like, I don't get it.
I don't like soup.
Yeah.
I feel like you would really like Warhol just because of your affinity for soup.
Soup is just a way that I've chosen.
Soup Life chose you.
The soup life chose me.
So, like, back to the subjectivity, I think it's kind of interesting to note, too, that, like, with a lot of art, like music, for instance, you can have your own interpretation of it, and that in a way defines what it is to you. But with video games, you actually, depending on, the game, there's a certain level of agency that the player has to construct their own experience.
Yeah.
Even if it's, like, a sports game or something, you control how the players are. Bring it to the other spectrum where it's like Minecraft, like you are making your own art within the art.
Yeah.
And I mean that's kind of unique. I think I can't think of any other medium that really lets you do that other than like maybe Buddhist like rock gardens and stuff, or that you can like play with the sand.
Yeah, because I mean, if you take the individual piece, like for example the game, instead of like in music it would be a song. You can't deconstruct and reconstruct the song. I mean, you could remix it, but that's a new piece of art.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's. I don't think there is any. I mean, yeah, Buddhist rock art as a weird example. I think that is probably.
I'm sure there's something else out
there.
That's the first thing that comes.
Exactly. Like we don't really talk about these topics beforehand before we come in, just to really get fresh conversation going.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm sure if we sat down, we we could think about it, but I mean, off the top of my head, that's a really good example actually. Like I'm surprised that no one came up
That's a
with
good
it.
topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good topic.
Thank you.
Top of the day goes to Andrew.
So I mean, and going off of what you said as far as like creating your own experience and stuff like that, and certainly, I think that's why I've always been drawn towards RPGs. Because not only like now we have the big branching storylines and side quests and stuff. Do I want to do this? Do I want to make these choices? Like BioWare games, like really these big moral choices really change the outcome of the game. But like even just character progression, like how do I want to level up my character? It's new every single time, and like it makes that game feel so much bigger, even though I'm doing the same thing over and over if I'm replaying the game.
Right.
So
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, and it's kind of like listening to a song. You pick up new things every single time, but it's always been there. So yeah.
Very deep thoughts tonight.
We went from Bloobies.
Bloobies.
Although,
So
let me
is
throw
this
this out
art?
there. Let me throw this out there.
Yeah.
Whatever you do in a video game, it's already there in the coding.
That's
You're just
true.
unlocking it by playing through the specific actions to do so.
That's true, but like the song is always going to end the same.
Right.
The game isn't always going to end the same, depending on the game.
That's true.
So
I think what Tom was saying is like it exists already.
no,
It's not
yeah.
like you're doing something completely unique that isn't even in the coding.
Yeah.
You have to abide by the rules of the coding.
Yeah, the laws of the game. Yeah.
But yeah.
You're going robot on us there.
What is all?
Awesome. Well, yeah. So Bloobies to Sim Murder to
I'm a robot now.
to art, and then Tom's being a robot.
Yep.
So we should tell Taylor. She'll be thrilled.
I don't know what that means.
She hates robots.
Oh,
Like,
I didn't know either. I just like giggled along like I knew what was
No,
going
she-
on.
You're that guy.
Yeah.
Taylor's terrified of AI. And so I've told her to never play Fallout 4 because it's such a prevailing topic.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I need to finish that, by the way.
you do. I need to get on Far Harbor, the DLC, but apparently it runs like crap on PS4 right now. So
I am like also terrified of AIs, but I accept my fate at the same time. We all know that I'm like accepting of whatever apocalypse comes my way.
yes,
Yeah.
I'm just like, take me now.
yeah, you're just gonna round up all
Next master race.
you're gonna round up all the puppies and just cuddle with them until you're gone. Like,
Yeah. We'll get an underground bunker.
there you go. Have fun affording that.
My puppy bunker.
Puppy bunker.
It's like 1 week later, it's full of puppy poop, and I don't even know what to do.
Oh gosh.
Jesus. Anyway, this has been the Gameswell Show. Thank you guys so much for watching. Check out the new site. It looks amazing. Jessica did a wonderful job with it.
She did.
We said last time that we would have microphones. They're in the mail. We forgot about the holiday. They should have been here today, and we would have had the microphones set up and ready to go, but they're in the mail still. So they'll be here tomorrow. So the rest of the show, from here on out, we'll have microphones for shows. So
That's gonna be fun.
it's gonna be real exciting. I can't wait to figure out how to get those to work.
Yeah. I can't wait to like do like weird things in the mic, like for mic checks.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to hear that in headphones. So it's gonna be great.
It's never gonna get old.
Nope.
Never.
So yeah, check out the new site. We posted an update on Facebook about all this new stuff that's happening, and it's all super exciting. We're all really pumped about it. Been working really hard to get it happening. In 6 days, we rolled it all out. So, but like, comment, subscribe as usual on the YouTube page. Like us on Facebook. Check out the site. All that stuff. Follow us on Twitter. We all have Twitters now.
Yep.
Emily has more followers than I do. And she,
Really?
Yeah, I have like, most of mine are porn box. I don't know how they find me, but everybody's like,
I have a few of those.
I get an email like once a day. It's like, you have a new follower. I go look, it's just porn. I'm just, God damn it! Like, I'm so close, like so close to having real people like
Real
me.
people.
But no, not a whole lot.
Mine are just randos.
Yeah. See, I don't have many.
I have one
we love
actor,
the
but he's
randos.
like not in like anything
Yeah.
really huge.
But still,
But still, it's pretty cool. It's
maybe,
pretty cool.
Maybe one day.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you for watching. Check us out. Check out all the other videos, and we'll see you next time.
Get us on Uber. We'll give you a ride.
We are nowhere near an Uber location.
No.
Yeah.
Uber does not
We'll
exist
We'll make the
here.
commute.
Yeah.
Thomas will. The rest of us will not.
No. Alright, thanks guys.
Hi. So, Never just ran in and fanned the Hamrock Roadhog, which